Hello everyone, it's my pleasure to be back here again. The last time I was in class was before the COVID, but now we are expecting that the COVID is going gradually and we'll be together again physically. The class, cultural anthropology class, is holding again, and I am working with Professor Eddie Taylor this time. He is the legend in my profession. He worked on the transformative learning, and he has been absolutely a great scholar, someone with exceptional knowledge of our study area. The transformative learning project has been a project that not only he has worked upon writing scholarly articles, but also have used in many areas of life. So today I welcome you to this internationalized program of the University of Padua. The Erasmus Plus program, KA 107, is the sponsor of my coming to you as a researcher and a teacher at this time. The internationalized program is to expose the learner to places across their bridges, to help them to understand other culture from other different places in the world. And here today you'll be learning a lot about Nigeria. One of the other purposes is to provide you with some information about how we live our life here, the things that are unique about us. And one of the unique things about us is the issue of the bride price. Also, it is to correct some misconception you might have had about Nigeria, just in case you have heard some stories. This to tell you that in a country of 200 million people, we are strong, we are virile, and we are not only that, we are highly intelligent. Another thing that the internationalized program will do is to open up learning paradigms for you, especially those of you that are graduate studies, is to give you understanding of other didactic situations that you may also want to practice in if you so wish. Furthermore, it will give you a new outlook for teaching and learning and making education more international. So if you finish in your university, you could as well come to my university to teach. This time around, we're using the documentary video teaching method to take you into what we have in this course this time. Welcome to Nigeria. Officially known as the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we became independent in the year 1960 and October 1st. Nigeria is the 17th most populous nation in the world. As of today's data, we are about 200 million people. That making us an extremely big nation. Nigeria is found in the west of Africa, and we are lined with the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Nigeria neighboring countries include Benin Republic on the west, Niger on the north, Chad on the northeast, Cameroon on the east side, and of course we have the Atlantic Ocean on the southern part. English is our official language. and this is also the medium of education. Our children are taught in English. We have 3 main languages in the country: the Yoruba language, the Igbo language, and the Hausa language. These are the 3 dominant languages. But we have well over 313 languages that are documented, officially documented as being part of our language, spoken in all parts of the region, different languages. And so the only way to talk together is to speak English. Lagos is the largest city in west of the country and on the coast of Gulf of Guinea. We are close to the border with Benin, and in Lagos we have over 20 million people. Lagos population is also the largest in sub-Saharan Africa, and we have the largest economy in the Western African region. We are the heartbeat of Africa. My university, Obafemi Awolowo University of Nigeria. Many people ask, located where, and I tell them, in Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife, that is the place where the sun rises. It is called the most beautiful campus in West Africa. Obafemi Awolowo University was founded in 1962, and we occupy a land space of about 12,000 hectares, which is so big, a very big place to be. And also within the biometric index, we have been said to be one of the 7 best in Africa. Presently, within the university, we have 10 residential places, one named after Morinu Agashiro, one of the female goddess, one of the female heroines in Ile-Ife. We have our own banking, we have our own water system, we have our own electricity, we have all that we could need on campus. You're welcome anytime on the Erasmus project to Great Ife.
There's only one Great Ife in the universe. Another Great Ife is a counterfeit.
In the anthropological literature, the bride price is often explained in market terms as payment made in exchange for the bride family loss of their daughter and fertility within a kinship group. It is also understood as a gift from the groom to his bride family, in the sense that it is a substantial gesture of goodwill, and many times it is something that is known, to help to forge the unity between the families. In truth, the practice of marriage in West Africa, and especially in the Yoruba land, cannot be completed without the payment of the bride price. Many cultures practice bride pricing, even in very old records. This is found. The tradition of bride price payment is found in many countries of the world. You can find it in the Asian country, in the Middle East, in the eastern part of Africa, and as well as in some countries in the Pacific Island. How much do you pay for a woman? The truth is, you can never quantify how much a woman worth. However, our tradition differs from one place to the other. It depends on how rich the bride's family is. It also depends on how rich or how poor the groom's family is. Many times, especially in our own culture, it is not just something that is decided by an individual, but rather something that has been defined by the culture, the norms, the value of that home. If you are coming to marry into a very rich family, you are supposed to know you will be paying maybe quite a big bride price. However, this differs from place to place. Now, let us look at some of the history of this culture. The first place we'll find this culture is in the Bible. And in the Bible, there is the story of Isaac and Rachel. And when Rachel going to leave her home, the Bible told us that Isaac's servant made a huge payment of gold and all sorts of material to the family of Rachel. And this was the first account of bride payments that we find in the scriptures. And afterwards, we have looked into many other traditions. We also found in the code of Hammurabi the payment of bride price and various laws that guide this established custom. One of such law says that the man who paid the bride price but looked for another bride is not entitled for the return of the bride price. And if the wife died without a son, the family must return something or part of this bride price. In the story of Odysseus, Telemachus complained that the suitors are wooing his mother Penelope with a lot of dowry. They are bringing a lot of money to him. In the Chinese culture, an auspicious date is selected and it is called the tea coin. The tea coin meaning proposed marriage. That period, the whole family meets to discuss the amount of the bride price and demand other things from the groom. A couple of weeks before the actual wedding, the ritual of bridal, which literally means performing the rites, will take place. And in this auspicious moment, the groom and the matchmaker visit the bride's family bearing gifts such as wedding cake, sweetmeats, jewelry of different types, and a lot of other things in a gesture of goodwill. In India, many times it is among the lower caste of the society because many of them cannot even afford to pay the dowry, which is the opposite of the bride price, to the husband's family. We have the practice of bride price all over Africa. The Germans, it is called Morgengabe, which means morning gift. And the Mediterranean German need to pay an amount of money to the bride's family before the bride will be taken away in the morning after the wedding night. The purpose is to secure the bride for widowhood and loss of any type so that she can find a means of survival in case there is any form of loss. Together with the morning gift, as called in German, and the dowry, they are able to start their young life together. The morning gifts were preserved for many centuries in the German marriage, and the union of the wife is not indicated in whatever way. Many times, the payment of the bride price is also made by the family of the bride. However, it is the bride who asks how much should be paid for her. Lobola, this is what is called in a similar tradition in Southern Africa, and it is sometimes translated as the bride price. Lobola is a traditional Southern African dowry custom whereby the man pays the family of his fiancée for a hand in marriage. And this is also indicating the capability of the man to support his wife financially and emotionally. The process of the lobola negotiation can be long and complex and involve many members of the family and the extended family of the bride and the groom. And of course, at the end of it, a lot of wine is presented, and it is called Movala Lona, which means mouth is open. When you see me dressed like this, then it is time for a wedding. When it is time for a wedding, the traditional wear for a Yoruba woman is Iru and Buba with the ashoke and the ileke, and of course, a lot of jewelry. So, I want to tell you about the different types of marriages we have in Nigeria. The first phase is called the introduction. We also call it in the Yoruba land Momi Mo. And in the Momi Mo, what do? It simply means I have come to know you. I have come to know you and you have come to know me. And in that situation, the groom and his parents and member of his close family would follow him to the bride's house. And when they get to the bride's house, they would bring with them basket of fruits, 2 bags of salt, and of course a lot of drinks. As soon as they get there, people welcome them and ask them for their mission, and they would explain that they have come to pluck a beautiful flower so that they can go and grow this flower in their own compound. And they would name the bride that they came for. And afterwards, there will be a lot of merriment, a lot of eating. This is the first phase of the wedding. The second phase of the wedding is known as the traditional wedding. We call it Idano in Yoruba. Idano means it is time to bring the bride's price. And so when they bring the bride price, there is a lot of things on the list. A lot. There we find both 42 tubers of yam, sugar, salt, honey, bitter cola nuts, luggages of different sizes. But the most important of all the items is what is known as the bride price. Now, in the bride price also, we have a lot of the list. Owó ilé, ọkùnrin, owó ilé, obìnrin, owó ilé ìyá. And the one that is most crucial to them is always in one small envelope. It could be any amount, ranging from maybe 1,000 and right up to 500,000. And sometimes it is paid 1,000,000, depending on the culture. If it is in the culture, especially of the Igbo land, many of them take as much as 500,000. But in the Yoruba land, many times this money is returned to the parents of the groom to say to them, we do not want to sell our daughter, but we want to let you know that you will take care of our daughter and she will become your daughter. However, a lot of debate have been going on about this. And one of the things that have been said is that historically, the money is not meant to be a money that can buy a slave or a servant. The truth is, nobody can sell their daughter. Nobody sells. Rather, it is a symbol of commitment. It is a symbol of honor to the girl you are taking away from her parents' house. It is a symbol of the fact that you can provide for her, that you can make her your bride indeed. The third phase of the wedding is what is known as the court marriage. Here, you have to appear before the court registrar, you and your partner, and then you will sign in the presence of your parents and witnesses, who would also sign on this piece of paper. This is known as the court wedding. And the last part of the wedding is when you become the Cinderella in the white. You are supposed to wear the bridal gown and your husband in the suit of tuxedo, and all your friends in their own different ways. all of them come together in a church wedding, which ends in the reception. The reception is where you have the huge cake and, of course, lots and lots of food. Here in Nigeria, the bride's house must kill a cow and lots of rice of different kinds, the jollof rice, the fried rice, the coconut rice, all types of rice. And then, of course, the bolos. We have the inyo, the amala, the eba, food of all kinds, and of course, music. Music. And at the end of the day, the bride goes home to her new husband.
2 bags of yams, 40 pieces, 1 keg of palm oil, 1 keg of groundnut oil, salt, 1 bag of sauce, 1 bag of rice. Then they paid 5,000 naira for fried rice.
Culturally, it's meant to be paid by the intending groom to the family of the bride.
The husband today will pay a certain amount of money to the wife to show the extent to which he loves the wife to be.
When he pays, I feel like when he pays, it shows you more respect. It shows you more respect that yes, I paid for this woman, I value this woman because I spent a lot of money on her, she's mine, I have to take care of her, I paid the money.
The family of the bride usually submit a list of what they intend as their bride price, which will be taken to the family of the groom, which they are expected to pay, among which are, in Nigeria, for my culture, I think some tubers of yam, sugar.
It's actually a sign that the parents are in support of the union. It's not about the price. The parents do not intend to sell their daughter, but a traditional requirement to show that the parents are in support. Once they accept the bride price, then they cannot dispute the fact that the union was supported.
An Afro Yoruba person will want to be very considerate in the amount the family requests for on their ladies that they're about to marry. We have seen cases where the groom, who is the husband, is made to pay as low as 1,500 naira as bride price. Of course, for any right-framed person, you know that you can't buy a human being for that amount. So, I think the essence of bride price, number one, is to make the lady in question, the lady to be married, is to make her feel honored. That yes, you are not just going there as Ìyàwó Sarah. Ìyàwó Sarah means a lady given out as dash.
Once upon a time, there was a young girl in the village of Ifesuwapo. Her name was Olajumoke. Olajumoke was a very beautiful girl. Very, very beautiful. And because of her beauty, she became so proud. Every time they talk about her getting married, she look at all her suitors and tell them, I am more beautiful than you. How can I ever marry a man like you? One day, the Prince Akabe himself came all the way from Laboro village to come and ask for a hand in marriage. Did you know what Jumoke did? Jumoke looked at him and said to him, how can I marry you? Your legs are too thin and your neck is like a crane. The mother was very unhappy. Said, how can you refuse a prince, Olajumoke? What do you think you're doing? But Olajumoke kept saying, everyone else is not as beautiful. No one else is as handsome. Did you know? Another time, the brave hunter came the brave hunter himself, Odejuiwa, he came all the way for Olajumoke's hand in marriage. He brought with him 10 big deers. He brought with him so many animals to give as a bride price. Olajumoke looked at him and said, how can I ever marry a hunter like you? Yes, you might have killed an elephant or even killed a lion. That wouldn't mean that you can marry me, Olajumoke, the Ewa of this village. Eventually, in one day, Olajumoke and her mother went to the market. And then Olajumoke saw this handsome man walk into the middle of the village market, and he was asking to buy one thing or the other. Olajumoke started following him. She started following him every corner. And at a point, she went back to her mother and said, Mother, I found someone I'm going to marry. And her mother said, oh? Said, that young, handsome man is the one I'm going to get married to. And the mother said to her, you must be joking. That man is a stranger. We don't know where he comes from. How can you choose a man you do not know? And she said, that is the man I am going to marry, whether you like it or not. And the mother said, you don't know what you're doing. And did you? Olajumoke walked up to the young man and said to him, hello, young man. My name is Olajumoke, the beauty of this city. I want to marry you. And the man said, beautiful lady, are you sure you really want to marry me? And Olajumoke said, yes, I want to marry you. I have even told my mom I am going to marry you. And the young man asked again, are you sure, young woman, that you want to marry me? And he said, yes, I want to marry you. He said, okay, I want to give you time to think about it. The next market day, I will be here. And then you can tell me if really you want to marry me. And he went away the next market day. Olajumoke was the first person to get to the market. And she sat down in the middle of the market so the man would not miss where she was seated. And she was looking up and down, waiting for this young man to come. And very soon people started walking into the market space. And as they walked into the market space, Olajumoke was walking. And she was looking here and there. And she was looking here and there, waiting for the young man to come. And then the young man appeared. Olajumoke ran to him, embraced him. Welcome my husband to be. The truth is, I have been waiting for you. I have been waiting for you so much. My mom is also waiting for you. And Olajumoke took the young man to her mother. And her mother said, young man, where do you come from? And he smiled and he said, I come from the village of Igborere. Said, where is that? Said, far away, but not too far from here. That is why I come to the market all the time to buy and sell in this place. And they were so unhappy because they knew that marrying a stranger means a lot of trouble. And Olajumoke had made up her mind. So the next market day, this man came, and a lot of his people came, bearing her bride price. And they came, paid her bride price. And Olajumoke followed the man home. But as they start to go home, little by little, as they walk deep into the bush, Olajumoke kept asking, where are we going to? He said, we are going to Igborere. That is where I stay. Really? Is it that far? I said, no, just come with me. But as they go along the journey, the man started to return all the body parts that he bought. He got to a village. He returned his legs and he starts to walk on his head. He He got to another village. He returned his hands. He got to another village and he returned all his body. And it remained only the skull. At this time, Olajumoke was weeping. All the people that came with him were also returning all their body parts. And then she understood. And then she understood that indeed she has married a stranger. So they got to the village. She could not run. And she was there. She cried every moment. But the God made sure that she could not run away. He put the tortoise in charge of her security. Said, watch over her. She must not go anywhere. So each time Olajumoke tried to run away, the tortoise will start to sing. Ori ori Olajumoke lo. Ori ori Olajumoke lo. Ori o lapa Olajumoke lo. Ori o lẹ́sẹ̀ Olajumoke lo. Ori ori Olajumoke lo. What does it mean? Skull, Mr. Skull, come over. Olajumoke is running away. Olajumoke is running away because you don't have a leg. You don't have legs. You don't have hands. Olajumoke is running away. And the skull will come rolling with all the other skull. And they will pick Olajumoke again and put her in a chain. She was there for long years, not knowing what to do. But one day, wisdom visited her. And wisdom told her what to do. Said, when next you want to escape from here, make sure you cook a lot of ikuru. Ikuru is a bean pudding. Said, make the bean pudding and give it to the tortoise. Everybody knows that the bean pudding is what the tortoise love to eat. And so, Olajumoke made lots of ikuru and gave it to the tortoise. And he was eating so happily. His mouth was so full. And Olajumoke started running away. He started running away. And because his mouth was full, the mouth of the tortoise was full. He could not shout for the skull to come. And that was how Olajumoke escaped back to her parents. And this time, her pride was gone. She was ready to marry from our village. And this is the end of my story about Olajumoke, the prophet of the skull.